All right, now we're going to plant the tomatoes. Now it's been about 3 or 4 days since we planted the peppers, but we had some rain and I couldn't get out here till today. So we're planting the tomato plants today, just one long row, about 100-foot long, and we're going to get started on that. We're going to start with the German pink tomatoes. Right here. I burnt these holes in this fabric about a 3.5 to 4 inch diameter because I want to plant these deep, and I wanted to have room to dig down in there. Be better if I had a box or something to put the dirt in, but I don't. So I'm digging down about 4 inches deep. All right. We're going to start with the German pinks. Now these tomatoes, as you can see, they're starting to put runners out for roots here. These should have been planted probably 2 weeks ago. They're really leggy. They're going to be fine. But if things had worked out well, they would have been planted 2 weeks ago and they'd have been better off. The peppers that were started at the same time are not doing bad at all. One reason, peppers grow a little bit slower. So tomatoes are already starting to take off. All right, German pink. Now the first thing we're going to do is sprinkle a little bit of rabbit manure in there. I'm going to put a little dirt over that. Kind of mix that in. All right, now my secret ingredient on tomatoes, and I'm sure a lot of y'all use it. If you don't, you should. It's an antacid, calcium carbonate. The calcium is what I'm after. That stops the blossom end rot. So I'm going to put 2 of these in here. Now if you have heartburn, it's good for that too, but it's not going to help you if you get heartburn from tomatoes. I'm not going to pass that along or anything. They're also fruit flavored, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to affect the taste of the tomatoes. I know it's not. I've done it before. All right. Yeah, we should have potted these up or planted these a little earlier. But everything happens in spring, and it's just hard to keep up with it all. Well, that tomato will straighten up. All right, there's one. Let's move on, see how many we can get done before dark. Now if you want to save seeds on tomatoes, you need to keep them 40 foot apart. Now since this row is going to be 100 foot, I can save seeds 20 foot down this row if I'm just using 2 varieties. I could even plant 3 varieties and still save the seeds from these varieties. Now this was laying around out there, so we're going to use it, put the dirt in. Of course, the tomatoes, you can plant them right up to the top 3 or 4 leaves and they'll be fine. They'll grow roots. Leggy tomato plants are not necessarily a good thing, but it's not a terrible thing like it is with some other vegetables. I'm trying to go about 6 inches deep or a little more. All right, a little rabbit. Fertilizer. Couple of calcium carbonate and a German pink tomato. Now the reason I use the calcium carbonate is because you can use other forms of calcium, but this dissolves so much quicker than a lot of the other things. And I've used this for several years, and when I started doing this, my blossom end rot almost 100% disappears. A bull barker might be good on this. I'm probably pulling about 2 tablespoons of rabbit droppings in there. 2 calcium carbonate. Mix it up just a little. Next plant. Now you see some people break the roots apart, and that probably helps a little. But even if you don't do that, they're going to find their way out. They'll be fine. Now, we were talking about the other day about worms being under the weed fabric. I found 2 or 3 night crawlers under here. I mean, huge worms, and I'll show you a picture of that right here. See, those are enormous. So the weed fabric does not affect earthworms. Proof right there. These are spaced about 2 to 2.5 foot apart. I didn't measure these holes. I just stepped it off, so they're all relatively close. All right, this is the last one we're going to be able to get in tonight. I'm not sure how many I've got, but I've got over half this row. And I wanted the majority of these to be the German pink. And this is probably not all the German pink I'll plant. Good healthy one right there. It's smaller. It's really healthy looking. All right, that's the last one for tonight. And remember, count your blessings every day. And I believe you will find you're blessed far beyond measure. I know that I am. Bye.